my goodness. So that was a fun flashback from one of the jokes and strokes that we did this year. Great time.
Yep.
So, entertainer of the year, vocalist of the year, band of the year, rising star, female single of the year, band single of the year, emerging artist. What is this?
Okay. All right. So the ISSA is the International Singer-Songwriters Association, and it is obviously international, so it's all over the world. And we got nominated for multiple awards for that association, and that's what that is. And then later on that year, we also got nominated for Josie Music Awards for best new band or best rock band as well.
Absolutely awesome. I had a great time, and I know that we went through a bunch of questions that were, off the wall on the 12th of April when we were hanging out for Jokes and Strokes. Yes. Absolutely beautiful night. Thanks for sticking around till the end of it. That was awesome.
That was fun.
The International Songwriters thing is based out of Atlanta too, right? So that's like a pretty populated So I always told everybody, because I traveled a lot. So when you go to Florida and then you go to, let's say, Peoria, Illinois, it's almost like you're going through like a 5-year time warp backwards to like. So they are, they're popping over there. They're doing the thing over there. They are definitely grinding over there. So that's a good place. Definitely.
They're doing some stuff over there for sure.
Rock, soul, R&B, contemporary Christian, country. Why so many genres?
My manager says I should just say Americana, which covers everything. But I believe that you shouldn't limit yourself. I'm a songwriter, and I've written songs in every genre. I've written rock, obviously, soul. I've written pop. I've written country. I've written contemporary Christian. My first album was contemporary Christian. So when I released my first solo album, it was contemporary Christian. And then my first album with Beyond Destiny was contemporary Christian. So I try not to limit myself. One day, Beyond Destiny, we're gonna release a country album as well, because I have some really good, and I'm not saying this because I'm not biased. I'm just simply stating facts. I have some really, really good country songs. And people are like, man, you should really release that. You should do something with that. You should. And so I love performing all of it. And I love writing all of it. And I love singing all of it. So I'm definitely not going to limit myself. So whatever God gives me to write, that's what I'm going to write. I don't care about the genre.
I think the awesome thing is, and I want to remind everybody, because people are like, why should I go see a live show? I get to hear the same thing on the radio. I can just go play her on Spotify. Why do I got to drive 30 minutes out of my way and spend $100 on a bar tab to go see, Beyond Destiny? They're on Spotify. I'll tell you why. It's because that's where they practice all their songs before they end up on Spotify.
Exactly. And you're going to get such a great mix of songs. Well, like you said, Cynthia, you said that our playlist is the best playlist that you've ever heard. And you're not the first one to say that.
You build your performance around your playlist, and people don't understand that. You have the power to control the room, and that's literally your job as an artist, is to control the room.
Yes.
To get everybody riled up to where they're like almost ready to fight, but they'd rather drink, and then slow them back down. So when they do take that drink, it doesn't cause a fight. Right. And then you get them all excited again, and then you bring them back down. Like, that's your job. And if you haven't even thought about planning, like, you're the reason that people can't get hired as a new guy. Like, so this band takes their playlist serious, and they will take you on an emotional roller coaster. And every time you think that they cranked it up and they don't have anything left, they're going to take you and slow you back down, and then show you they still got stuff in the basket, and it's all going to be all right. We're going to enjoy the rest of the night. That's how it's going to go.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad that's the way you described it, because we've had multiple people after our shows say, wow, you guys are such a great mix. They're dancing, they're singing along, they're clapping, they're so into the show. And then when we bring them down, they're like, oh my God, I love that song. And then we bring them back up, and they're dancing, sing along, and people are shouting. It's so much fun. We have so much fun.
You truly do. And that's, I mean, the number one key out of all of it. Like, I mean, if you're not having fun, then how are you entertaining anyone to start with? like if you're not having fun,
exactly.
how are you causing other people to have fun?
Yes, exactly.
Thrill Joy Records, Kick This Music. Tell us about your label. Tell us about, how did you end up with the label? What's the story?
Okay, so yes, so my first solo album was there was this independent label out of Lubbock called Thrill Joy Records, and that was my first independent release. And then later on I created Kick This Music to release my own music as well off an independent label. So we combined, it was Thrill Joy Records and Kick This Music to release my first solo album. And it did great. It was phenomenal. I loved it. And then when I formed Beyond Destiny, we released our solo album off of my independent label called Kick This Music. And so it's one of those deals where it's steadily growing. Actually, we're going to start adding other artists eventually down the line. My goal is to one day have Kick This Music be one of the biggest independent labels in the world.
Heck yeah. And I believe that you guys have the team that isn't kidding around when they say what they're going to do.
You're right. I have a great team. You know, my manager, they call her Jace, but Jessica Jace Martinez, Jace. And then, of course, my band is phenomenal. And then the management company that signed me, they call him Dre, which is Instrument Solutions. And then I became co-owner of the company that actually signed me to a management deal. I actually became co-owner of it about a year ago. And so Instrument Solutions, because I started, they were like, well, you're doing basic. I was getting shows just as fast or faster than they were. And they were like, wait a minute. It's because I was making connections with people, talking, performing, doing open mics, meeting so many different people in the music scene that I was getting shows a lot faster sometimes than their AR executives were. And so they were like, how about we just hire her to be one of our AR executives and help us bring talent to Instrument Solutions. And that's kind of how it came about.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, you guys are definitely out there working, and I know that you probably take your experience from having to maintain structure
yes.
in your previous experiences, and you kind of applied that to your team, and it definitely shows.
Thank you.
Structure is a big deal if you're going to get somewhere. If you don't know where you're going, anywhere will do.
Exactly.
If you don't have a plan, then how are you even working?
Right. So true. So true.
What's the best advice you've been given?
I remember when we first started doing like shows, we started getting gigs and shows early on with Beyond Destiny and even some of my solo stuff. A friend of mine, we did a huge show called Fields of Faith. Fields of Faith. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but they take it's done at this football field, and it's contemporary Christian. It's FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. FCA puts on a huge event called Fields of Faith, and they bring schools and FCA groups from all over Texas, and even in other states they do it too, to this big huge football field, and they asked us to do the show, to do the praise and worship for Fields of Faith. And that was one of our first big shows, was Fields of Faith. And there was over, I'd say probably like 3,000, 4,000 students there. It was pretty amazing. So that was one of our first big shows that we did in Brownwood, Texas. And I remember a friend of mine who was in charge of getting the music. He said, if you one, obviously, keep God first, one. Number two, don't let anyone ever steal your joy. The joy that you have when you perform, the joy that you have when you make music, that is where God is. And he said, don't ever stop having the joy when you do your music. And I've always kept that to the forefront because I believe, God has blessed me in so many different ways, through music, through sports, family, friends, people that I've met in the music industry. And I've had made some incredible friends in the music through music. And I'm so glad. But it's really important for me that I do it for the joy. And that's why I do it. And because of that, more and more doors open up, more and more opportunities come your way because you're doing it for the right reason.
100%. 100%. So you've mentioned the Fields of Faith. That sounds like a really awesome event to go to. Is it directed towards, you said then, teenagers, like school-age children?
Yeah, it's directed
our country still has things like that.
Yes, it's directed toward the youth, like middle school, high school kids. It's such a huge event, and all different high schools come. A lot of churches are involved. FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, they're the ones who put it on, and it's a huge event. And they've done multiple Fields of Faith in DFW area as well. And it's just great music, great messages to the kids. And there's so many things that happen on that night that so many kids have been saved. So many kids give their life to Christ. So many kids have really done a 360 as far as who they become because of that.
That's beautiful. Make an Impact Fest. What's up with that? That's coming up, and you're going to be performing.
I'm excited. This will be my third year to do it. Jeremy Bellamy, he's one of my good friends, and he's an artist. He does he does rock, and he does solo shows. He also does band shows with his band Soul Shine. Well, he puts it on, and it helps raise money for child trafficking, domestic violence, and there's 2 or 3 different charities that he raises money for. Those are two of the main things, basically to stop child trafficking, to help people that have been in domestic violence situations, and to really make a difference. And I'm glad that I've been a part of that every year. And he's asked me to do it every year, and I love doing it. And I think it's an incredible event, and it's so important that we help each other.
That last part, that very last part, y'all, it is so real. It is so real. And I mean, it all boils down to hurt people, and we all just need Jesus and love. Yes. Less judgment, less hate. Save the job for the people that are in the position to do the job. Right. He didn't say he was hiring. He said, "Go love my people."
Exactly. And as you know, my faith has always been important to me. And I grew up, like I said, singing in the church, and I grew up going to church every Wednesday night, every Sunday morning, every Sunday night. And my family, they've been a big part of, just continually to walk in faith. And my mom, grandmother, they're huge influence on my life as far as just trying to be the best people that you can be.
Man, you can tell my daughter, they grew up because I was a touring mom. So church was home, and, they were at church 3-4 times a week. And even when I was home, everybody knew I was probably exhausted. So they'd call on a Tuesday and be like, because they knew my kids were homeschooled. They're like, "You want to come? Do the kids want to come bake cookies?" And so, we had 3 years of not that down here after COVID. And so to see my daughter becoming who she was again is it makes a difference, man. She can go 2 weeks and she's like, "Okay, I can't handle life anymore. I need to go, back where my people are."
Right.
You can feel, the difference between being around people who are just not happy with their life and being around people who actually understand what's going on and why they're not happy with their life.
Exactly.
So, girls with guitars.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Shelby Ballinger, maybe, she put out a post on Facebook. She was looking for some female artists to do a show with her at Tuck's Brewery in McKinney. And so I, sent her a message, and she was like, I want to bring in some female artists and do a show and have like different artists come in and do about a 45-minute set, multiple artists, and it's going to be incredible. And what's really neat, some of the people that she put on the bill, I know them personally, which is cool. And then I'm going to get to meet some new people that I've never played with or have never heard. But after she put me on the show, then I of course went and listened to everyone. But I've never met them, face to face. So I'm actually excited about that, because you get all these female artists that are so talented, and you get to like perform with them and get to hear their music and hear their stories and hear some of the things. And it's singer-songwriter, it's all original music. So I'm excited about that.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. I was talking to someone the other day about how the format is set up for everyone to be puppets, and how there's no healing in someone singing someone else's song. Like, it's just literally some puppetry. Like, you're not getting the benefits that you should be getting from music and then when you have 700 people singing the same song, so now you've heard the same song on repeat on the radio every day, and then you've heard it on repeat at every venue you go to, because you got sick of going to venue A, so you went to venue B and you heard the same sinking song again. Like, people want real, they want raw, they want emotion, they want to feel the music. And it's important that we support independent music so that we can still have a voice.
Exactly. 100%.
If you could go and open for any band, whether they were here or, well, if you could go open for any band, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Ashley McBride, Cody Jinks, Cody Johnson.
Tag them down there. Tag them.
Oh, okay. Cody Johnson. Let's see. Oh, Dolly Parton. Oh my goodness. That would be insane.
Dolly
Parton would be insane. That would be so amazing though. And then probably let's see, Cody Johnson.
I feel like she would totally vibe with you, though. I think she'd be like, "Honey, just come on home."
I know, right? I love Dolly. I think she's so amazing. And then probably, the Red Clay Strays.
Hey.
Yes, Red Clay Strays for sure.
Okay, so I know that you have opened for some people that I don't know. I don't know who Daron Norwood is. Sorry, Daron. Sorry, I might look this up. John Michael Montgomery, definitely.
Yes.
And Coffey Anderson, one of my faves.
Yes.
And Falling Up. So out of the ones that you have opened for, which one was your favorite experience?
Coffey Anderson for sure. He's amazing. We're good friends, and hopefully we get a chance to open up for him again. He's in Texas now. He's back in Texas now, and we visited some. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again. I'm excited, and he's been doing some great things, and he's such a great guy.
He has soul, passion, and fire. Have you been able to see Zach Webb perform?
No, but I do know who Zach Webb is. We like.
Okay, so if you take Coffey Anderson, no, you have to. So Zach Webb does. I wouldn't say, I would put his style of performance, because girl, he goes from like an old song and it's just about to drop a beat, and he takes you to a whole different old song, and you're like, no, he definitely did, and he puts his own twist on it, and it's the sickest. It is absolutely. He was here in Wichita Falls, and nobody was out there at the venue that he was out, so I took a camera because I was like, man, I was like, for once, I actually want to hear this artist, and I feel like he's just going through the motions. And I'm about to go show you what he can actually do. And my friend was like, no, you're not. Just stay here and drink. You don't have to even promote. Like, why are you going to do that? Like, there's nobody here. We're going to pay you anyway. And I'm like, no, because I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to show you why. And I did. And man, like, he lit up, and I still have the videos. Like, we had a good time. It was just me and him out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally in the middle of nowhere. You had to walk like a whole field to get over to where my camera could even get a view of him on the stage. That's why I went out there, because he was out there playing for himself. Everybody else was sitting inside of the bar, and I was like, no, I'm going out there. And then it was like a year later that I found out the two of them are related, and I was like, that explains everything. They're the two artists in this state that, besides you, that have caught me where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm paying attention.
So Zach Webb and Coffey Anderson are related?
Yes, I am.
No, are they cousins or something? Are they really related?
Ask him. You're his friend.
So no, but
I may have been misinformed. I may have been misinformed. You asked him.
No, I haven't seen Zach Webb. I have not seen him, because I know he's from Brownwood originally. Of course, Coffey's from Bang, so yeah, they're all from that area. But I've never seen him live. But I've heard great things about him. So that would be cool for like maybe get to do a show with him. I think it'd be great.
He has soul for sure. Okay. And both of them are so good with their socials. So good with Raphael says he really enjoyed the music the other night. Shout out. We really enjoyed your comedy. You had us laughing like
thank you.
All of the comics. Absolutely love Jokes and Strokes. If you guys haven't been, you have to go. I know it's at least your second time. Is it your second or third? Like, how many of them have you done? Like, I've lost count. You've done 2, right?
Yes, this is my second one. It was amazing. Like, seriously, it was so funny. There were so many talented comics. There were so many funny comics. I was like, oh, this guy's good. And so as each one, I would start following them on their socials. Like, they're so good.
Right? When you think it's not going to get any better, like it just progressively is more and more hilarious. And you're like, I can't believe that all of that just happened. Now it's time to play some music. Let's go.
It was great. It was so good.
How, if you were able to collaborate with anyone on a song, whether they are here now or not, who would it be?
Whether they're here now? Oh, when the Judds, Winona Judd. Well, the Judds, actually. I know her mother passed away, but I'm a huge fan of the Judds. Like, if I would, as far as country, they're my favorite country artist of all time, the Judds. And my favorite artist of all time, obviously, is Tina Turner. But if I could do a song with the Judds or Winona, of course, who's left, it would be a dream come true.
Absolutely. So let's play a song that you have done, or at least a little snippet of it, because that's what we're here for. Beyond Destiny, you guys can see the website on there. Do we want to do, you tell me, you know which 3 I have.
Felt That Way. Felt That Way for sure.
What's the story behind the song?
Just talks about how we're all human, and we, at some point or another, we've all felt the same way, whether it be, depression or happy or joy or sadness, that we're all connected, and that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that to never give up and always keep believing in yourself.
Amen on that one. We, as America, oh my goodness. There are a lot of ways to feel about this world right now. It's definitely not the one that we grew up in. And I appreciate artists like Michael Scott Music out there, little young pup, teaching people that old souls do still exist in this country. Can be something that we're proud of if you raise your kids right.
Exactly.
I mean, we got Tristan Robertson out there just taking names. He ain't even taking names anymore. He's just like, where you want me at now? Like,
yeah, he's doing great.
Oh, where are we going? Where are we going? I've got schoolwork to do. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh no, I got schoolwork to do. I don't even know how that boy is keeping up with his life.
Man, he's blowing up.
It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like as hard as this industry is, after 2 years of nonstop grinding and people telling me I can't do it, or I can't do it this way, or I can't say this, or I can't play that, or yada 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 yada. I don't have to listen to none of that, because we helped, like, I'm not saying his team is absolutely amazing. Like the graphics, like their production, like the time that they put into it. I mean, they were already stacked and ready for that to be.
Yes.
It just happened that, God blessed us on the way. And it's been, beautiful to me, because now I know, like, all those arrows are worth it. And it doesn't matter what anybody says to me, and it doesn't matter what anybody does to me, because there's going to be somebody out there that's going to prove everybody wrong.
Yes.
Like,
I agree.
There really is. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when it's the right thing, I mean,
keep
he has
grinding.
such a good heart. He has such good intentions. He has such good soul, and he deserves everything that he has coming to him. And he knows that, there's going to be hard times, and that there's going to be struggles and all of that good stuff. And that's important if you're going to get into this industry. Especially if you're going to get your children into this industry, they have to know what they are up against if you are going to push them down this road. They absolutely do. And so to see parents that have taken the time to do that, and they know what they're up against, and still willing to do that for the right reasons, there's not going to be any stopping that.
I agree.
Behind that,
I was like, no, you're right, because like you said, you've been in the music industry, you've been in different parts of the industry, and so you understand that. Yeah, you got to work hard, you got to grind, you got to put the time in, you got to practice your craft. You have to
100% believe that if you can see it in your head, you can achieve it. If you can see it in your head, you can achieve it. Yes. You have to 100% believe that if you see it in your head, you can achieve it.
I agree. You got to manifest it. Manifest it. Yeah. I'm 100% manifest it. And like you just said,
when things are bothering you, and just vision what it feels like when things aren't.
Exactly.
And work for that.
Right.
I keep telling myself that it's time to prioritize my peace. It's time to listen to that book that says this person goes, and then this person goes, and then this person goes, and then the world happens. That's where I'm at. And it's a beautiful thing, but I mean, you have to prioritize. You have to know your limits. You have to know your plan, because tons of tiny and big shiny things are going to come along and try to knock you off your plan. And you definitely have to feel people out for yourself, because people talk a lot. And you have to decide whether they're trying to protect you or themselves from losing you.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
World.
Yeah, there's so many, and get into music. I've heard other advice from other artists that have been in it for a long time, and other artists that have done it, and they talk about different things that they've had to deal with, and not getting burned out, and I've seen some people talking about, they got burned out and they just couldn't do it anymore because it was just too hard or
I think a lot of that though comes back to the first thing we talked about, and that's the set list. If they're not having fun with their
yes,
set list and they're going through some Groundhog's Day BS,
yes.
then they're going to get bored. They're going to get sick of it. It's going to
Mhm.
feel like they ain't even there because they're just muscle memory at that point. And that,
Exactly.
yeah, you got to keep it fresh. You got to have a plan.
Yes.
You got to enjoy what you're doing.
Yes, you got to keep it fresh. You got to enjoy it. And we're constantly changing up our set list. And what like at our last rehearsal last week, I added three or four. Every time we have rehearsal, we add 3 or 4 new songs to our set list. Sometimes we've added like 6 or 7 different songs, depending on who we're playing for. We always carry our set list to where we're playing. And so we always switch it up. We have such a huge catalog of songs that we know. And I remember when I sent my manager like our master set list, there were over 290 songs on it. She was like, "Oh my goodness."
Most people don't even have a set list. I'm not even playing with you. I think I have built 2 websites where I have a song list on the website available. And ironically, it's right there with the tip jar at the bottom of the page. So people can know what songs you play and tip you to request them right there. And you just get a little notification on the phone while you're on the stage, but nobody uses it. Shout out to the Posse, Texas Hall of Fame. It's theposseband.com. You can go check them out. Also, John Cott Band, 2 people. And both of them have massive diversity in their set list. And the reason that they're successful is they have a set list. You might say that you're a country artist, but really you can play alternative music and a bunch of other stuff. But since you labeled yourself as a country artist, you just lost that job.
Yes.
I mean, you have to play. You could have buried in your set list their favorite song, and that's the only dang reason they booked you. And you could sound like absolute dog crap, but you play their favorite song.
Right.
I'm not playing. This is real life. It's
is
real life. You have to give them reasons to book you and not just keep shoving your own stuff down their throat. It's already set up. They want us to be puppets. Show them how we can be puppets and then go sing your music. Like that's what they want. That's what they need. That's how they have it set up. That's how we have to do that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that far if you don't have the cookies that you need to get in the door that you want open. Like you have to have all of that. And most don't even, like their set list is like this. It's like my interview notes. And then it's like, like it's like this at the end of the night and in a guitar case, and then we can't find it and the wind blew it away, and they complain that they can't get where they're going, but they don't even know where they're going because they don't have the damn plan.
I agree 100%, which is one of the reasons. And I was explaining to a friend of mine, I said, she said, "Man, you guys stay busy." I said, "It's because we're so diverse, and we are." And like I said, we're professional, we're so diverse, and we are good at what we do. And we make sure that we put on great shows every single time. And our set list is so diverse that every single person in that room at some point is going to like what we play.
And you're not forgetting your lines at the end of the night because you had too many or too much fun. Like you're professional. Like it's moderation and balance is the keys to life.
Yes.
I know you're getting ready to be playing down in Fort Worth. I got April 25th at the Basement Bar.
Yes.
May 1st, Rhinestone. I love hanging out and people watching in that place. It's a lot of fun. People love to have fun in that place.
April 26th is at Platinum Music Complex. And that's
awesome. Fort Worth. I didn't scroll all the way down. I just picked.
That's okay.
I'm like, there's a lot to talk about on this website. I'm just gonna pick the gems off here.
Yeah, that's at Northridge and Hills, and it's gonna be I'm so excited about our shows this week. Friday, like you said, at the Stockyards Basement Bar. Saturday at Northridge and Hills Platinum Music Complex, and it is all female fronted rock bands.
What?
It's gonna be awesome.
That's on top of the girls with guitars. Like you got a lot of stuff going on. Like, I mean, just the names of the events that you're playing at sound like you guys are cool and you should be booked. Like,
let's go.
I mean, how many festivals in 1 month? I think I seen like 3.
Yeah, 3.
I mean, just on the first list of things, there was like
we do. It's so much fun. I am really thankful for my for the people that I work with. Two, my band is so phenomenal. They're so phenomenal, and we have so much fun doing what we love to do. And I love it. It's like I said, I just have so much joy.
We've thrown them on a stage that wasn't ready twice, and I haven't heard one grumpiness, not one, and like nothing. Like they're just there to have a good time and have fun, and they're very like on it. Like when Nikki's like, I need my guys are there. Like they're just and they're jamming, and it's very refreshing to see. When you have experience in putting those kinds of things together, you know, and being a booking manager for a venue specifically, when you have experience in being a booking manager for a venue, you know that the bands don't always show up. The bands don't always bring what they say they're going to bring. The bands don't always sound like they sounded when you listened to them on the recording that they sent. Like you get 100 to nothing. Like it's a crapshoot if you don't know who they are, and that's why it's so hard for people to get in. But this band is this top. Like they're there to have fun, and even if people don't think they sound perfect, they love the playlist. They absolutely love the playlist. It doesn't matter. They're going to take you to the 80s classic. They're going to take you. They're going to take you. Hold on. This is where this comes in. They're going to take you. And you're going to have a great time. That vision, now everybody else has to live with the vision that I keep talking about that's stuck in my head because of you. It's like now everyone else has to live with it too. I'm glad I found that video when I was looking for your music, because every time I see you guys, I'm just like, and the Grinch is in my head dancing.
Yes, the Grinch was amazing. That was so much fun.
That was January. That's when people don't host stuff and everybody's like, why would you? Because everybody says we can't. The year before, it was like -10 degrees, and everybody's like, you need to cancel the show. And then we had people just show up to hate on us. We literally did. They lied and said that their chickens were out and they had to go get them before they died. And we're like, we all knew it was going to be -something degrees. You didn't just remember your chickens. Thank you. I did that. I'm sorry. I really am. It was, we have fun. When people say that we can't have fun, that's if you don't know how to do that, you don't know how to live your life right. So hot summer concert series, what's that about?
Okay, so we recently got booked. Temple, Texas, they're gonna start this new festival / it's called the Hot Summer Concert Series. It's going to be put on by their Parks and Recreation department, and we got asked to play in it. It's going to be their first. They're going to have like 6 stages, and there's going to be music going on all over the park in Temple. We're really excited to be a part of it because this is their first year to do it, and they asked us to play in it.
Another band that is absolutely fun, and they helped sponsor the drum kit. Once we finally get the studio put the rest of the way together and get sound and stuff, we'll be moving that drum kit in here. And they're also fun. So they play like all of the old from the old classic dance country to today. So like all the ones that'll make you get out and boogie on the dance floor. We had a great time with them. They've done Jokes and Strokes for folks. As a matter of fact, I believe that there was like a hail or ice storm of some sort on their way home from Jokes and Strokes. I believe it was like February or something. Like you would think that it'd be safe to plan events in the winter in Texas, but it's not. Not always. And then Kylie D. Hart, Nikki's band is top-notch musicians for real. So this woman came out of a 10-year retirement to our female songwriter event, and then not long after, we were walking down the street with her, and one of her fans remembered her from like she hadn't even been out or playing or anything in like over a decade, and obviously she's a top notch too if people are going to remember her from a show 10 years later. 11 years, as a matter of fact, is what it was.
Kylie. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to Kylie some. We're gonna try to do some stuff with her. I'm excited.
She has such a sweetheart, and man, she's a soldier for real, both both in life and in experience. And that's something. Speaking of soldiers, shout out to the North Texas Warrior Golf Association and all they do for all of the soldiers in the DFW area.
Thank you. Appreciate it. My father was military. He was Army.
They are absolutely amazing. They actually just got recognized by the state of Texas because they're an organization that's been around for 14 years and over, hundreds of members and not one single veteran suicide in 14 years. And so they're really showing that what everyone thought was impossible is probable. Like it can happen if you you have to have a lot of patience and compassion, and you have to be there for people. You truly do. So
that's good.
Yeah, shout out to those guys because they do a lot to support what we're doing as well, and we do a lot to support them. And they have some stuff coming up, I believe. So they're trying to tie. So you know how exhausted I am always at Jokes and Strokes because that's like just driving there and back is 5 hours of my life. Yes. And then you got to add the whole production on top of it and the anxiety from who's coming. Is it going to flop on its face? Like always know everybody's going to have a great time. So that part I'm not worried about. But so they're having something May 10th, and I'm going to have to look into it. Their awards thing. So I might be down there. We might try to go down there and get some pictures and stuff from that and support the guys because they really do support us. Maybe I can sneak you over there if I can't.
That'd be cool.
Let's see. You're heading to LA. Is this a first time road trip for you? Or what's the scoop with the casino gig in LA?
Yeah, actually, that is Louisiana, actually. Bossier, Louisiana.
Well, that's dyslexia, and we went from 0 to way back over here in that.
That's okay. No, we are
the letters right.
But we are going to be. We are talking to some people about doing some shows in California, actually, in LA, Oakland, and House of Blues in California. So we are going to that's actually in the pipeline. That's coming. But which is really our manager got us some shows at a casino shows in Louisiana, Bossier, Louisiana. So we're like, yeah, let's go. We're excited. And so we're getting more casinos type shows, which are really fun. And you get to really get to meet some cool people and do some cool things. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, those are nice too because they give you a room and they give you like a little credit or something, and you get your food, and it's like a little mini vacation is what it really is.
It really is, yeah. So
shout out to Bertie Young all the way, kicking up that country roots all the way from back home in Iowa. Oh. So I was born in Illinois, but I moved across the river when I was 5. So if you want to really say where a lot of my roots came from is probably on the other side of the river where she's at in Iowa.
Bertie, actually,
I just had a lot of storms, man. I was on the phone with my mom yesterday. I had shut my whole life off. I was like, if they ain't my kids, they ain't my mom, and they don't need me, and my mama don't need me right now either, because no. So, but I was on the phone with her, and all of a sudden it just cut off, and I was like, well, that was weird. Her phone must have died. And she texted me, and she's like, I think it was lightning. I'm just gonna let you go. And then I look on the map because she lives dead in Tornado Alley, and it's literally just a fluorescent pink line right on top of her. And I'm like, this woman's about to Kansas, Dorothy, Toto off. And she's just like, oh, it's just lightning. But like her backyard where the horses are was literally in 5 minutes of rain, a lake. Like a literal lake. I'm like, Mom, like that amount of rain in that short of time is not normal. You need to check the radar. And then I checked the radar, and my phone wouldn't let me send her the pictures of the radar. And so, oh, the weather. So in Iowa, that's where I was. I almost had my firstborn in a basement of in the middle of a tornado because there was 174 in one weekend. So there was one right before I made it to work, and then my mom literally drove across town and watched a tree go in front of her car. That's the one that I almost had the baby in the basement. And then we tried to go home after that one, and one had just ripped through. And on our way home, I literally thought I saw our house in the middle of the street because somebody's house was in the middle of the street on our way home down the highway. Like we turned right and that house was left. I was like, please tell me that's not ours. And it wasn't, but we got home and like all of our windows in our house were busted out. This big tree, like giant tree, was just lifted up out of the backyard. The horses were in God's country. Them things is gone.
Wow.
And then my mom's like, there's another one on the way. We're headed to Walmart. I'm like, that's smart. That's 30 minutes away from here. But you got to go in town when them things come, man, because that at least keeps them at bay. Wild. She lives in a wild area. You hold on up there when the weather comes. Yeah, you definitely do, but it's not a lot different down here, especially. You guys are down in like the southern, like Fort Worth area, right?
Yeah, the majority of my guys live in Fort Worth. I live in the north area. I live in Frisco, but they all live in the Fort Worth, Lancaster, that area. So they're
Yeah, the storms still get worse over there than they like all of the ones here go right around us. They're like 15 miles from here. When I first got here, 15 miles from here, I thought I was gonna die. I thought the sky was falling. I was like, I called my mama. I was like, everything is bigger in Texas. I just looked at the thing and it didn't, because back in Illinois, we get tornadoes all the time, literally all the time. My parents both made a living out of chasing tornadoes. So it wasn't, that's normal for me. Golf ball size hail, normal for me. But y'all don't start out with that. Y'all start out with softball size hail. And I didn't think that was cool at all. And then the first week I was here, literally COVID's happening. I don't know what's going on with my life. And there are basketball-sized chunks of ice falling through people's kitchen ceilings, 15 minutes away from where I was at. So that was my COVID experience in a nutshell. The storms, I just moved from one tornado alley to another. And when the sky falls, it just falls a lot bigger and harder here. And the wind is a bigger, badder wolf. But I think we have covered a lot of stuff on here. And
let's see.
Let's talk about one more song, and then I have a couple more questions, and it's about time to wrap it up.
Sounds good. Which
one do we want to go with now?
Let's see.
Time and again. I want to see you.
You said one more song?
Yeah, we're gonna exit with the last one. So
okay, let's go. Time and again.
What's the story behind this one?
So this one just talks about how you should tell the people that you love them now while they're here on this earth, and that you should give them their flowers now, not just when they're dead, because we know time is that time is a thief, and that so tell the people that you love them while they're here, and let them know.
Yes, ma'am.
Every day of our lives, we search for love, a love that is true, yeah. Well, I can honestly say I found it in you, so let me know just how you feel, yeah. And do you love me, yeah? And will you always be there on time? Time and again, oh time and again, oh yeah.
There was a movie that I just watched. Was it called Choices? What was that movie that they just came out with that was like the sequel to The Notebook? And I
Oh,
think it was called Choices, and it was like, man, that was a lot to
I think
watch.
you're right. Yes, yes. It was good.
It's
It was
real.
real.
It's so real. Like,
Yes.
and I think about it all the time. Like, you know, it could just be that last moment that you're just frustrated as hell and don't have time for it, that you ain't never gonna have fucking time for it. And excuse me, I did that. I did that. I apologize. Wow, good job, Cynthia.
Okay.
All right.
Like you said, you're not going to have time for it. You don't realize. You just don't realize what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But don't waste time.
That is my biggest pet peeve. Like, there's a couple people out here you can probably ask about that. What is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Wait a minute. Useless talent. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That's a tough one. Let's see.
I had help with the questions.
Okay. Most useless talent, I think, is that I can. Oh no, that one's not useless. Hold up. Probably. Okay, so I am really okay. I guess it's useless. There's some people, they're like, okay, why do you even know that information? But anyway, like movies, I love movies. I'm a movie buff. And so when the music in movies, of course, with me having a musical background, I love soundtracks. And I can literally tell you of my favorite movies, who wrote the song, some kind of background about the song, and like some kind of weird, like funky story that occurred about that song. It's useless information, but when I tell people, like, how do you even know that? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that with soundtracks.
That's awesome. And as you know, like, I mean, music sometimes makes a movie. And so it's sad that that's not an important thing that's really like in their face when they're, you know, is those names and stuff, like, because some of those guys, like, we don't even ever know who they are, like, no idea in the world. So it's awesome that you pay attention and then was able to bring that to.
Yeah, it's funny because someone goes, how do you even know that? They're like, how do you know that, like in a movie, because I'm such a movie buff, how do you know that so-and-so in real life, they're brother and sister and this happened to them? Like, I'm telling you, I know some just weird stuff when it comes to movies and music in movies.
What is your creative process like?
It varies. Like sometimes the melody will come and then the words, or sometimes the words will come and then the melody, or sometimes they both come at the same time. And it'll be one of the, and it could be, sometimes they'll come in my dreams. Sometimes they'll come when I'm like, you know, maybe working or doing something. All of a sudden I have like, oh, an idea. And so I put it on my recorder on my phone and keep it on my recorder, and then I'll like flush it out later and say, hey, okay, I can add the verse and chorus, stuff like that. And then when I get my band, I'll say, hey, I wrote this new song, and then I'll let them hear it, and they're like, oh, this is really good, or let's try add this or whatever. And so it's one of those deals where they come at so many different times. And the process for me is I get inspiration from so many different things, from people, from things that are happening in my life, or things that are happening in someone else's life, or even information from, like, maybe I'm watching a TV show, I get inspiration from that as well. So it varies.
If you were ever to just meet your point where you just didn't want to do music anymore, do you have anything else that you're passionate about, that, like, if you ever put this down, that's the direct, you already know that's the direction you would go, or you just,
if I didn't do music?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a coach. I'm a coach and a teacher. I coach girls basketball and I teach. So, that has been my career path. That I knew I wanted to be a coach and teacher because I love sports and I love working with kids and I love working with people. So, I got my degree so that I could coach and teach. And then music has always been a part of my life. So I knew that I wanted to do both. But if I couldn't do music, I would still either coach and teach, or I would get into motivational speaking and become a motivational speaker and travel all over the world.
I
And
think you need to add that to your music. I was just talking to your management about it earlier today, as a matter of fact.
you were? What? What?
Not necessarily you.
Yeah, if I didn't do music, I would definitely be a motivational speaker.
I guess we did talk something about business, but it was definitely not 3 hours worth of business. That we talked. It was very little.
Yeah, I can do TED Talks and go all over the world and talk to people and go
And
visit.
you can get paid to do that, and then just play a little bit of song afterwards, hop over to the next gig, and just
Schools, businesses.
Yes, public speakers get. I mean, people want to learn the things that they hide from us.
Yeah.
The things we got to pay to learn. They want to learn those things. That's what I meant to say.
For sure. So I would definitely be a motivational speaker.
I think I lost another. Yes, we'll join the sisterhood. We talked about making patches for like the ones that are like we gotta stop talking about that. I think I did one of the things that I did earlier, and I lost that other piece of paper that I was messing around with. Found it. All right, so tell us about the Tom Bean Opry.
Okay. Okay, so the Kerosene Drifters, they are a husband and wife duo. I met them when I did Rustic Ramblings in Denison with Ann House, and then there were multiple female artists there, Tressa Donnie, Victoria Lemons, and we did like this all-female show where we each got up there and did like 3 or 4 of our songs. And so I met the Kerosene Drifters there. They're putting on, and they call it the Tom Bean Opry, but it's actually this like kind of house concert type deal. And they're giving us a topic, and we have to write a song about that topic. And so when it happens, we have to present that song, and it's a contest basically. And whoever wins, there's like a prize who they quote unquote the best song. So I'm pretty excited to do it because one, I like
kind of like a artist development opportunity kind of thing. It's kind of like how we were going to run with the fun show in August.
Mm-hmm. You guys are thinking about doing something like that in August?
So my goal is to take us way back, because I have to deal with a bunch of kindergarten stuff out here. I want to take us way back and play a kindergarten game with music.
Okay.
And so I want to, have a night where each person gets to display their own music.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all get to put topics into a hat and, have like a little short personal thing, like off of the topic, like think up a chorus for this topic.
Okay.
But then I want whoever does the best at that to pick a whole different topic and start a song, and we just go down the line. So he does the first line, and then the next person goes.
Nice.
And we find out what kind of we end up with on the end.
Yes, that's actually kind of
like like that kindergarten game of telephone where he said, she said, she's. Yeah,
yes.
we want to play those games too.
Okay.
But we're gonna do it with music and have fun with it, and it's going to be a good development opportunity.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm glad that came out like that. We have pretty much met our time. We were at 59 minutes. We hung in there like winners. And so, anything important to say that we left out? Like anything?
Well, we our new single is coming out in a couple weeks. I Can't Keep Crying, and then our new album will be out in a couple of months, and we're definitely gonna set up a album release show, the whole thing. And we're excited about this new album. The new album is called Believe, and it has some great songs on it. There's rock, obviously, and there's, and then there's we have Wanted on there, which is contemporary Christian / rock. And then we have like a kind of bonus track that's at the end. So we're pretty excited about it.
Heck yeah. And then I did have if you were to give a message to anyone out here trying to do music, what would be your one message to share?
Stay humble, work hard, treat people the way you want to be treated, and last and certainly not least, love what you do.
Absolutely. I was a baby that got recruited into a corporate position, and I ran a multi-million-dollar company, and the man who owned the private jet who hired me out of the hole that I was hired out of said, if you ever don't love this job, then find a job you love and you'll never work another day in your life.
Mhm.
So
Yep, I agree.
absolutely on that one. So but you have to know how to work it. You have to have a plan. Otherwise, your plan is going to work you because you don't have one.
Yes. Amen.
We're going to end on, I want to see you. Tell us about this song, Nikki.
It's just about like you meet someone and you have a immediate connection and you want to see them again. And you're like, okay, I really want to see this person again because I think that there's something there. So it's a really cool song. It's a fun song. And it's the one we always end our shows with. And people are like, yeah, we want to see you again. So it's pretty fun.
Well, I want to see you again. I absolutely love seeing you. You're always happy. All your guys are always happy. The hugs are great. And we always have an absolutely amazing time. So I definitely want to see you again. And I'm sure that I will. And I am looking forward to it. We are going to play this song and let you get about your night. Thank you for jumping on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I remember all those lonely nights. I met you and you made everything alright.